What is going on, Oh God! Oh snap! Didn't want to do that. What is going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. A little bit different because I'm doing this on Saturday, and normally I don't do any shows on Saturday. But I did not give you a show. Well, technically, I gave you a show on Friday, but it was in the afternoon. I didn't give you like the roundup, like Bel-Air Fridays. Didn't talk about that. And there's other things that I kind of want to talk about. So I want to get into this oh Lord. Excuse me, y'all. Y'all gotta forgive me. This is out of my element. But I kind of want to get to these stories today because there's a lot that I gotta say. You know what I mean? If y'all know anything about NWA, it's like, yo, Dre, I got something to say. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot to say today. But the real question is,
Are you ready?
all right. Oh man. Hopefully you guys are happy. You guys are healthy. Shout out to everyone who follows the channel, who supports the channel, who truly supports the channel. You know most definitely who you are that supports the channel. I really appreciate y'all anytime that y'all come in. Um, Let me say, yeah, I'm about to get into this because a lot of people are misinterpreting, or to me you got your own view or whatever. My view on this particular subject, for real, is not that deep, but everybody has it. And like I said, it just, let me start off, let me slow down for a minute. Now everybody's been on this MODOK train, which completely is, I don't know what to call it. I honestly don't know what to call it. Let me get this. I hate that these transformers in my face. I can't really see. And I'm gonna share my screen here in a minute. But oh, and I'm gonna get to this, and I'm gonna just kind of remove this just for right now. But a lot of people have been, like I said, on this MODOK train. And I understand with anything, especially when it comes to a character like MODOK, which this is where I'm about to get to. This is because I gotta put this out there because this is what's bothering me about this, and I think this is what's frustrating. That's why I want people that's commenting on my Twitter, I want them to come to the show because I'm live right now on Twitter. I'm live right now on Twitch. I'm live right now on YouTube. I'm live right now on Facebook. I don't care what format that you got. Let's talk about this whole MODOK thing, because for real, technically, I feel like y'all are really taking this to a complete stratosphere. I completely understand you didn't like the Darren Cross version of it. I get that. But to sit up here and like y'all was pure fans, like y'all was just wearing MODOK hats, well, you know what I'm saying, with little MODOK shirts, y'all was walking around with little MODOK shoes. Man, y'all miss me with this. This is what I'm talking about. It's a lot of casuals who's doing a lot of fake outrage on YouTube, on Twitter, you know what I mean, and all these other places, because right now it is so easy to beat low-hanging fruit right now. And basically what y'all doing is everybody jumped on Ant-Man is not that great. Man, it's just an Ant-Man movie, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. You know what I'm saying? And now it's easy to be like, look what they did here. Ooh, look what they did here. Oh my God, they just made Jonathan Majors Kane. Oh my God, he's supposed to be this big bad minister thing. And look at him, he got destroyed by ants. Oh, Ant-Man ain't that significant. He's a C-list character. When I heard that today, I literally almost floored myself. What's up, Blue? What's going on, my brother? You know what I mean? I almost floored myself because they forget that Hank Pym and Jenna Van Dyne was the inaugural members of the Avengers. But again, all these new millennials who come up who don't read, who don't research, who don't do anything but get online, get your little Twitter fingers going and complain, really make me sick with this. One of the reasons why they didn't want to go with the Hank Pym version, because Hank Pym wasn't a very good guy. And if we're supposed to be protecting women, that is literally the wrong character to do a comic adaptation to on screen. Trust me on that one. You know what I mean? And what's frustrating is that all you little MODOK fans is out of the blue. Look what they're doing with MODOK. Oh my God, dude. There's a multiverse. They're literally showing you a multiverse. So they always can redo this character for somehow. I know you're going to say, oh, that's lazy and this is this and this is that. How many of y'all was really camping for MODOK like that? Like, seriously. You know what I mean? How many people was really camping for MODOK? Oh, this is live. This is live. Trust me. Oh, no, this is live. No, this is not a replay. You're live right now. You know what I mean? Like I said, the character of MODOK really, literally was just on Hulu. I did not see the Twitter outrage for the MODOK that was on Hulu. All you MODOK fans, where was y'all when Hulu just did this? Where were all this outrage at? Where was all the little Twitter fingers on there? Oh my God, look what they did to MODOK. Look what they did to MODOK. None of y'all was saying anything when Patton Oswalt was the voice of MODOK when they did a adaptation of the character on Hulu. None of y'all said anything about that. And technically, that show is actually very funny, very brilliant. Because, dude, it's like as much as obscure character as you can get. And again, I'm going to prove to y'all that a lot of this is not 100%. All these people are saying, well, the comic adaptation, they're not taking the character seriously. They're not taking the character seriously. A character like that should never be taken seriously. And I know he was part of AIM. You know what I mean? I know that, in certain adaptations of that character, certain writers wrote him good. There are certain writers that wrote him as goofy as you could possibly get it too. So everybody has their adaptation. And what makes me mad is they just pick one single thing like, look what they did in the comics. Look. This is literally one issue, one comic. Not other people's interpretation of this character who's been around since 1967. Who literally was fighting the Avengers in the 60s. Do you think he was going to be serious in the 60s? No. He's literally an obscure character. You know what I mean? Now, can they do something different after they came out with this one? Yeah, but that Darren Cross version of MODOK was never going to be taken seriously. In an Ant-Man movie, where it was mostly comedic, you don't hire Paul Rudd, the great Paul Rudd, and not have a comedic movie. Think about this for a second. You do not hire a actor like that. Shout out to Paul Rudd, Kansas City native. You don't hire Paul Rudd and then put him in this in this serious, the way that y'all doing, Shakespearean way. And it was, again, adaptation. Their version of an adaptation, just like other versions of MODOK in other variations of comics, is not taken seriously. You have some serious, you have some not serious. You put them in a Deadpool comic, do you think they're going to take him seriously in a Deadpool comic? Like, y'all, you have to understand that comics are publications in their abstract. They could be broad over a lot of things. Man, oh my God. I can give you. Hold on, what you say? You said MODOK is a killer machine. Hell, the Avengers game gave him justice. I mean, okay, their adaptation. It's their adaptation. But their adaptation in that garbage Marvel game, because that game is garbage. Let's be real. That game is nowhere close to great, good, or even in between that. So their adaptation in that comic was was the character from the comics. Their adaptation of it. Their adaptation from here was Darren Cross as MODOK in an Ant-Man movie. That's really comedic. I mean, I don't know what you guys were expecting. MODOK, even as Darren Cross to be wrecking shop. I knew it was good. As soon as I seen that MODOK was going to, I knew it was going to be silly. I knew it. But again, a lot of casuals is camping on Twitter just because it's easy right now to beat up on it. Because look at the Rotten Tomatoes score. Look at the second week earnings for it. You know what I mean? Look at this, look at that. Because all y'all doing is follow what the critics are telling you, or you thinking for yourself. I don't really care if I have nobody watching this stream. I'm gonna give that work today. Because y'all camp out for something, y'all give y'all energy for something for a character who is not Thanos, who is not Dr. Doom. Now, if they did that with Dr. Doom, now, when they did it with Fan Four Stick and they did that to Dr. Doom, yeah, because it's Dr. freaking Doom. Totally different than MODOK. You take Dr. Doom serious. This is not a superhero squad. If it's a superhero squad, yeah. You know what I mean? But when you doing Dr. Doom on film, yeah, Dr. Doom is a little bit different. But MODOK, he don't even have aim. This ain't even part of aim, so you shouldn't even take it seriously in the first place. It was Derek Hall stuck in the quantum realm with Kang the Conqueror, who created him as MODOK because he's already seen, you know what I'm saying, the end of time. He's been through other worlds, so it would have made sense for him because he's seen that. Let me go ahead and turn this guy into a version of MODOK, not to be taken seriously, because all he was cannon fodder in you know, comedic, for comedic purposes only. Period. Y'all are way some of this stuff way out there. I just looked up Darren Cross. He only became Yellow Jacket because of MCU. But again, that's what I'm saying. He's a throwaway character. They just tie in his arc from Ant-Man to Ant-Man 3 because he got sucked in the quantum realm. So and he's dead. Could die on screen. What do I need to take this guy seriously for? Especially when I'm in a multiverse. When I'm in a multiverse, I can bring in the real MODOK. Just what I'm saying. Why are people getting bent out of shape like they can't give you another MODOK that's the real MODOK? Because we're in a multiverse. And they kill them on screen, but I guarantee you it'd be easy for him to come back. Unlike another character that never died in the comics is the King of Wakanda. That's what I'm getting my energy to because of the significance of the character. But I'm not going to give my energy to be fighting over MODOK. And like I said, I believe that the CGI team did this face on purpose like that. I believe all of that was on purpose because literally he was a throwaway character. It's insignificant to the whole outlook of that movie. You got Secret Wars coming. Do you think they not could come back with it if they want to bring MODOK back? They can in Secret Wars because it could be another one from another universe. That's all I'm saying. But all of this, let me. This is what I said on Twitter. This is all I've been saying. Only time they took MODOK seriously was in a terrible Marvel game and some comic runs, but that's it. Maybe they do something in the future, but right now I'm not tripping on this when they wouldn't recast T'Challa. That's what I got. That's why I got my energy in. I got my energy in MODOK. Not this version of MODOK, when they just trying to tie up one character. You know what I'm saying? What was you doing in the quantum realm? Oh, Kang the Conqueror made a MODOK. Word? They did that? Look at him. Did you kill him? Yeah, because we weren't going to keep that dude anyway. He was insignificant for that story. He was literally just there to be a beacon. And literally, if it really wasn't for Darren Cross, the beacon that went off is Shang-Chi's rings. Remember? Because at the end of Shang-Chi, that beacon was going off. Guess who was sitting in that beacon? Darren Cross. because he was trying to find somebody that could get Kang out of the quantum realm. And you know what the significance of the rings was? Time. Because technically it slowed down the aging process of what's his Wing Wang? Or I think I'm saying that wrong. I probably said that wrong. But you know what I mean? So it made him not age, and he lived for like 1,000 years looking just the same. You know what I mean? So those rings do time. Sent the beacon. They sent Kamala Khan back in time with the Bengals. Got other fish to fry. I'm not worried about a dude that they killed on screen. Not that dude. There's another dude they killed on screen that I got a problem with, but not MODOK. Not MODOK. And Kevin Feige already came out and told y'all that this is going to be their interpretation of the Marvel comics. Not and I again, we didn't have no problem with that with Endgame and Infinity War. Endgame and Infinity War is nothing like in the Infinity War comics, Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, and Infinity Crusade. Ain't nothing like it. And I seen more people crying, cheering, all of that during the first 10 years. And now all I see is a bunch of people just whining about nothing because it's low-hanging fruit. Jimmy Chan went from an alien in Captain Marvel to becoming Cersei. And again, you can always bring that character back with somebody else in their own interpretation. That's literally all I'm saying. But don't get bent out of shape on somebody that y'all really literally killed. So I'm gonna read your comic, Ashura. I think that's how you pronounce it. It said MODOK is not funny in the comics. You would know if you read the comics for. I have not personally, but he is a villain. So taking the MCU and Hulu's garbage portrayals as if the character is a reference. FYI, MODOK is not supposed to be the same bad guy from Ant-Man 1. And so I'm gonna poke some holes in this tweet. Matter of fact, I just posted a tweet because you retweeted it here. So let me go to my notifications because I'm gonna poke some holes into your theory and why what you're saying has some validity, but not all validity. So MODOK is not funny in the comics is false. Because it depends on what run you run in, and a character that's been around since 1967 has been through his goofy stages like everybody. Like every character has been through a stupid stage where the writer of that time was making them silly. Every comic book character has went through his stupid stage. You went through this time in like the 60s and 70s. You know what I'm saying? Where characters were written and I'm gonna pull up a couple comics after I'm done with this. But you have characters who went from literally, walking stereotypes to being something different. You know what I mean? Like you went through a hardcore period of time in the 90s. You had the rebirth of comics in the 2000s. You have, the new 52 versions and the all different Marvel in the 2010s. You're going into the 2020s where everything is an adaptation of what they see on film, or they're trying to grab something they seen on film and try to put it in there. So there's always because nobody's going to read 100% of every single comic. That's for one, absolutely asinine and absolutely ridiculous, and nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to do every single comic book that ever came out and try to poke holes in it. It's not, because everybody has their own interpretation of what they see on film. And then there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what I'm talking about. You have to understand that you have to give writers liberty to write the stories that they want to do. I'm not mad at that. It's up to us if we want to continue to support that, because it's their interpretation. John really probably just wrote the worst adaptation of Black Panther. I got a subscription because I already paid for it. So I got a subscription to come in every Wednesday. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But can I critique it based on the other people who have written Black Panther in the past? Yes, I can. And can I put it in its own category? Yes, I can. But you know what I mean? That's his interpretation. I ain't gotta like it, so I just sit on my shelf because I'm reading it like this is terrible. You know what I mean? But it really is up to you. See, this is the power that you have. Hold on, wait a minute. I wasn't reading the stupid stages, but the serious versions came to civil story. And again, you have your non-serious stories, you have your serious stories. But you can't say, oh, well, look what they did to me, because you only have your personal feelings and thoughts and memories of what only you read. And those pocket of things that you read, it's not everything that is read about that character, or has been written about that character, who's been the adaptation of that character. For real, nobody was checking for MODOK. And Marvel and Hulu said, you know what? Let's go get Patton Oswalt to do this character, because Patton Oswalt loves Marvel. That's why he's now part of the MCU. You know what I'm saying? It's Pip. You know what I'm saying? At the end of Eternals, because he's been trying to get in the MCU. So you got this character now, right? He did an interpretation of it that is really funny. Dude, comics is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. But when we're just critiquing everything based on our own, what we just read just recently, dude, we can't have fun with the character. And it's not the same character. It's not. I can understand if they did the exact same character. And I can't think of the scientist from AIM that they experienced on. I can't think of his name. If they would have did that, right? Did the whole thing and all of that, and then totally tried to just crap on it. Like, I mean, and what I mean by that is that no parts of them is ever serious. Like, there's parts of MODOK when, like, and I said this in my review, when he has on his mask, with Derek Crosser doing his thing, man, it is amazing. But then I also laugh because I know how silly they were trying to make this. I knew it. It's an Ant-Man movie, a Scott Lang, Paul Rudd Ant-Man movie. So, dude, have fun. We gotta stop going in and just trying to poke holes in everything, because we feel we have expectations, and our expectations are not reality. So my expectations never supersedes actual logic. And when I'm going into an Ant-Man movie who is starring Paul Rudd, do you think I'm going to get some Shakespearean, some type of Oscar nominated performance? Am I going to get Black Panther Wakanda Forever type performance? I know I'm not, because it's Paul Rudd. Like, yo, oh, Lordy. That's all I'm trying to say. It's their interpretation, like Marvel's interpret. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of y'all are really like, oh, Phase 4 was just the worst thing I ever seen. But I remember a time, and let me put myself back on screen. I remember a time where people were saying the same thing about Phase 2. They're just saying about Phase 4. Same cycle. So let's go down the rabbit hole of phase 2. Since everybody like, oh snap, you know what I'm saying? Look what they doing to these characters. Look at this, look at that. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Let's go down to the rabbit hole. Because I looked this up and I was like, oh, I remember a time where people were destroying Phase 2. So we're going from goofy to serious. It was given based on his name. Also, Serious Persona is the mainstay. Persona hence, I'm not wrong there. And I never said you was wrong. I'm just poking holes in your argument. Never said that you, oh man, this dude is totally stupid and this, that, no. No, no, no. What I am is I'm critiquing your argument, just like how you critiquing the character adaptation of Darren Cross's MODOK, because that's not technically MODOK. It's their version of MODOK using Darren Cross, which was the guy who played Yellow Jacket in an Ant-Man movie. And again, taking the character for one, he wasn't in two, found him in three, tied the story together, killed him off, and now he's gone. And now they could do a real adaptation since that character is now gone. If they didn't address what happened to that character, people would have been poking holes. Was like, hey, wait a minute, wasn't Derek Cross in the quantum realm? What happened to him? And remember, he got crushed up like a wad of toilet paper. People forget this stuff. People really forget this stuff. But let's go and let's do this, because I want to make sure that you guys know how much y'all was over there talking about phase 2. You know what I mean? So the phase 2 movies. Hold on. Now, let me see. So phase 2 started with golly. Okay, come on. Okay. So phase 2 kicked off with Iron Man 3. Who remember the Mandarin? Who remember that? Remember, I am the Mandarin. No, you're not. You're not Wing Wu. No, you're not. And what did they do? Retconned in Shang-Chi. He wasn't the leader of the 10 Rings. Wasn't any of that. But we forgot. We forgot that one. We really forgot that one. Let's go. Thor: The Dark World. How many people, and I'm one of them, that did not like Thor: The Dark World? When I first seen it, I was like, I don't know about this one. You know what I mean? Being honest. Just being totally honest. I've watched it multiple times. I didn't like what they did with Malekith. And I have War of the Realms where and again, their kind of comic adaptation of Malekith is not the same in the comics. That's okay. That was their interpretation. Again, the power that we have is that if we want to go support this or not, that's the power that you have, is your dollar. You don't have to go watch any of this crap at all. Period. You stop cold turkey right now. You don't have to watch it. Just like anything. Just like with anything, you don't have to support it. And then the more people don't support it, maybe you'll get what you want. But again, to sit up here and just get your Twitter figures together and complain, and you ain't gonna do a mother-loving thing is ridiculous. Because all you're gonna do is just you doing is just voice your opinion, but what action are you doing to support the claim that you're calling? If you don't like what Marvel is doing, you don't like what DC is doing, you don't like what the boys are doing, you don't like what the girls are doing, you don't like this, you don't like that, Star Wars sucks. Are you spending your money? Are you spending your time? It's like that episode of the Boondocks when they was boycotting BET because BET was harmful to black people. You know what they did? They turned it off. Just turned off their TV. Just turned it off. And if you don't like the MCU, but you like the comics, support your local comic shop. Buy comics from your local comic shop. Let them know that publication is still around and kicking. You know what I mean? So physical comics don't go by the wayside. There's always something different than just complaining. And I'm just not even complaining to you guys about a lot of these Twitter fingers. What I'm saying is there is an option, another way, something else you could do. Don't like the product, don't buy it. If you're gonna go to me, that's just like me going to McDonald's complaining that it got horse meat in it or his donkey legs, but I continue to buy McDonald's every day. What am I complaining about if I'm not gonna fix it? And that's all I'm saying is you can fix it by not buying a product. Go buy physical comics, and then read. You know what you could do with a book. Let me show you. you can do what you want to. Whoops. You can do what you want to in the book. You can read it however you want to. You can immerse yourself in a book. You don't have to watch the movies. Especially if you're saying they're not doing it right anyway. Why? Why be invested in that? Just pick up something, you know. Slash Rolling Lost Years. You know what I'm saying? Moon Knight, physical copy. But what I'm not going to do is get up on Twitter with my little Twitter fingers and tell you how everything sucks without doing anything about it. Simple. This is why I like Recast T'Challa, because at least the man went and made a petition. Just made a petition. That's it. Made a petition. And I didn't agree with E-Man when he was talking about when I retweeted what he said. Let me see if I can find it on my on the Twitters here. Probably not, because I don't honestly. I mean, it don't make me none. Honestly, it really don't. But I didn't agree with him when let me see if I can find it. In our rest in peace of Tom Sizemore, from Saving Private Ryan. He was also in some other stuff. He passed away this morning. You know, RIP to him. So let me bring this up because this was prompted my tweet in the first place, and then I'm gonna go on to the second thing. I'm gonna full screen this. So Quantum Medium's writer Jeff Loveless has addressed criticism on the movie's MODOK humor. I refuse to listen to fans on this. I would not make MODOK serious. He will be a big dumbhead. That's all. Hey, that's the way he wanted to do it. Again, you know what you do? You can do? Don't buy it. They said, is it when E said we have to accept TJ as Black Panther to get stories with Storm? I don't know what he said. Being honest with you, I've been focused on my own channel and not focused on focus on that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Focus on his channel. I've been dealing with a couple of channels, working a lot. You know what I mean? I work overnight, so you know, I don't focus on his channel, but I ain't got nothing to do what he said or whatever. This is an opinion. So when he sighed, that's why I made the comment that I did. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like the last movie, that the last Thor movie. But again, just like Thor, it is funny. Everything comes back around. And I'm not finished with my phase 4 and how y'all was scrapping on, a lot of people was scrapping on that. But this is exactly what I said to his tweet when he sighed. I said, I mean, they could do another version of another version in the future, but it's MODOK, a character that just had a show on Hulu making fun of him and no one gave a shit. Now all these fans coming out the woodworks, really? You know, I'm dead serious about that. Really? Nobody cared about that interpretation of MODOK. But now everybody, because all it is now is you can clickbait if you're on, if trust me, and I know this. You know what I mean? If I was sitting up here to with everybody else trashing Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania and jumping on this, look what they're doing, it sucks, it's this, it's that, and the other, and this and that and the other. Dude, my thing would be filled with eyes right now. It will be filled with people watching me because I agree with the masses. No, I go against the grain though, cuz I go against the grain. I'm not sitting up here and thinking what everybody else thinks, because I'm my own individual person and I do kind of understand exactly where he's coming from. dude, nobody really cared about that version of MODOK, because if they did, he would have survived past the movie. It would have took him a little bit more seriously. He was literally a henchman for Kang. That version of him. And again, because we're in a multiverse, you can do a different multiverse version of him. We literally just seen the Illuminati get literally clapped. You don't think they can redo a version of the Illuminati with another Professor X? You know what I'm saying? With the younger Professor X from the X-Men First Class versions, and another version of Reed Richards, and another version of Thunderbolt, and this and the other. And again, nobody even liked that version of Thunderbolt, because that version of Thunderbolt was a version like the one from the ABC television show Inhumans, and that show sucked so badly. Comic adaptation, source material, terrible show. Terrible show. I think the Psy is a writer in the article and not what you think. Even if the writer in the article with that, again, is MODOK. That version of MODOK. Again, that got clapped in the end of the movie. Who cares? That version's not coming back. I don't care. He was insignificant towards the story anyway. If he was significant to the story, you got me. But he literally is insignificant, inconceivable to the wrath of the story. What is up, Mika G? What's up? And good morning, Dre. You got time today, huh? Oh, I got plenty of time. I ain't got to work. I got time. But shout out to Mika G. Watch the video with Popcorn and Your Beard that came and hung with me the other day, Friday. So go and watch that video. Top 10 best cartoon theme songs of the 80s. We're gonna turn around and do the 90s also. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you guys are checking out Popcorn and Your Beard also on YouTube and now on Twitch. So check them out. If Kane got taken out by smart ants, I cannot trust the writers with Kane Dynasty. Okay, you read comics. Tell me, you said you read comics. Is Kang a cosmic god? Is he Silver Surfer? Is he Galactus? Is he even Thanos, Mephisto? Is he the Molecule Man, Owen Reese? Is he Franklin Richards? You know, Kang is literally just a dude who got bored in 31st century, right? He's literally just flesh and bone. And again, I keep telling people it's an Ant-Man movie. You know how strong ants are? Ants literally lift like 30 times your body weight. So just literally think of an ant the size of let me see. The size of Hyundai Sonata or whatever. I don't know. Is that Hyundai Sonata. I drive a 2019 Mustang. I do not want an ant that size coming after me. I would be scared to death. You know what I mean? 10 times his weight, 50 times his weight. That's still strong. This is all I'm saying. It's an Ant-Man movie. And the OG Ant-Man, Hank Pym did it. Wasn't Scott. The OG Hank Pym did it. Dope. I'm sorry. It was dope. And the writer even told you, you're really literally seeing Kang at his literally lowest point. He's depowered. The tech that he used got destroyed by Giant Man. We see that. We literally watch it on film. He got destroyed. His gauntlets done. So all the stuff that he was doing couldn't do it no more. You had to use brute strength. And Jonathan Majors, since he was just doing Creed, went ahead and put them boots to the ass of Scott Lang. That's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? So, yeah, a bunch of smart ants just whisked them away. That's basically what they did. Did we literally not see him still come back? I'm just saying. Well, Nate Moore said that they don't hire comic book writers and they know canon of the characters. And again, let's go back. Was Iron Man 3? Let me go back to phase 2. Iron Man 3 literally wasn't canon to anything in the comic books. He did an adaptation in a cast what is it, Killian Andrew Killian, and made him the Mandarin. And we all said, boo, that's not the real Mandarin. And they had the other dude playing the Mandarin. And so they went and did Shang-Chi and redid that whole entire thing. And it was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, he a futurist, but he's still a man. Still a man. Normal dude. It's just like me in the 31st century. I get bored, and then you know what? I want to develop time travel because I'm bored. And then I do it, and I'm like, oh, snap, you know what I could do? Said, okay, I'll tune in if I could dig your show. I'm live right now, my brother. 10 times 10 it's still, and it's strong. Just think if you can live 10 times your, matter of fact, let me go to it because I'm gonna keep this up. Let me see. Because I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. Let me look it up. Listen to this. Ants are ridiculously strong. They have the ability to carry between 10 and 50 times their own body weight. The amount an ant can carry depends on the species. The Asian weaver ant, for example, could lift 100 times its own mass. Just think of a common dude running into an ant that can lift 1,000 times his size, and he's the size of a Dodge Challenger. Nah, dog, nah, I'm cool. I don't want no parts of that. And y'all think somehow people think that that's stupid when ants can really do that. Maybe I'm slow. Maybe, or no, I'm not. Maybe I'm mentally challenged. Maybe I don't understand. I don't grasp the cups of reality. Maybe I'm wacky or something. I live in this fantasy world where I put little hats on and stuff like that. And, I ain't dumb. There's one thing you can. I ain't dumb. And I know if I seen an ant running towards me and it destroyed my tech, what am I gonna do? It could lift, 10 to 50 to 100 times his body weight. Stop it. Theory, he will be the Beyonder. Another character is played by Majors. Again, let's go back to phase 2. Matter of fact, where's phase 2? Adrian Killian played the Mandarin. Nobody batted an eye. Thor the Dark World, kind of, they didn't do Malekith any justice, but, Let me see. Captain America Winter Soldier, really the best film of phase 2. You know what I mean? But they had to tie together what happened to Bucky. And he came back in the Winter Soldier. It was awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy, awesome. And that adaptation of the Guardians is not from the comics. Because Drax is not, you know what I'm saying, so political that he can't, that he can't think like he thinks everything is serious or whatever, or takes things like literally. Avengers Age of Ultron. A lot of people did not like that movie, but I went back and watched that movie. That movie is it's actually so slept on. It's ridiculous. But at the time, people was crapping on that. There was like, y'all got 2 out of 4. Ant-Man. Do I need to say people did not like Scott? They just didn't like Ant-Man. They still don't like Ant-Man. Dude told me it was a C-list character. I'm like, Ant-Man. Now it was Hank Pym's Ant-Man and Jenna Van Damme who was the founding members of the Avengers in the 1960s. But what do I know? Agent Carter was a one-shot. All Hail the King, you know what I'm saying, was a one-shot. Now, the only difference between phase 2 and phase 4 was they have way more material in phase 4, which, again, I went into superhero fatigue. because not only do you have Marvel, you got DC doing their thing, you got the boys on Amazon, you got the Umbrella Academy, you had Invincible, which was dope, which I'm going to get to my next story. You ought to be, because I'm about to wrap this up. It was dope, was super dope. You got all of these things to choose from. By the way, Michelle Yeoh is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The Salon Group, she looks the same as she did in Shang-Chi, and she was. Agent Carter is the broker. This is not supposed to be her. Or Sharon Carter is the broker. Yeah, Agent Carter. She's a power broker. This is their adaptation. Well, my brother calls it Sugar Mama Sharon. But again, I kind of don't have no problem with it. It goes on how they tell the story, because that's their adaptation of it. Like I said, the only problem that I have, because Black Panther is so much of a big character, what they did to him is detrimental because of the whole entire way that he fits as a narrative for the whole Marvel comics. Now, I can't make these people do anything, but yeah. And no, I won't be doing that today. I got time today. I got time today. Matter of fact, for people who don't think I got time today,
I don't care.
Because I got time today. You say anything crazy?
I don't care.
All right. Let's get to this next story. And I gotta go and find my tweet, because I had the tweet up. And this is the character of the Sentry. Now, I got reports that the Sentry was going to be played by African American. We have been bamboozled. We have been hoodwinked. It is not an African American. It is not only the one only Steven Yeun, the guy who voiced the main character of Invincible, which, if you haven't seen Invincible, is awesome. Now, let's get into this, because this is coming from Illuminati, so shout out to them. So let's go ahead and add this. All right, give me just a second. The sign is real simple, B. You need to wrap that up. Wrap that gavel up, B. Thunderbolts. This guy is, I'm not gonna lie, is an actor, because he was also in The Walking Dead. I knew that. He was also in a couple other things, but again, this is from Illuminati. It is saying rumors about Steven Yeun's Thunderbolts casting are true. They're saying it's true, y'all. It's true. It was announced a few days ago that Steven Yeun, and I hope I'm saying his name right, famed star of The Walking Dead, Voltron, Legendary Defender, and Invincible, to name a few, will be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie in a key role. This film is stacked with characters from all over the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Harrison Ford, Sebastian Stan, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Wyatt Russell, Ayo Edebiri. I'm saying that wrong. I'm about to butcher this name. Olga Kurilenko, and Hannah John Kamen already cast, but Ford is set to play President Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, and the rest of the cast is set to be a part of Contessa Valente Allegra da Fontaine's team. Who is Steven Yeun playing? Steven Yeun is the Sentry. Now, I made a video about blackwashing characters or race bending characters. Now, I want to point out something that I thought about. I've been thinking about this for a minute, because there is a couple of race bent characters in the MCU that we totally forgot there were race bent, but the character was the actor was so amazing, we forgot they were originally white characters in the comics. Heimdall. Heimdall, of course, um, is a white character in the comics, right? Race bit for the MCU. Um, Lord have mercy. Now I'm starting. Now the sleep is starting to is starting to kick in. Okay. Oh God. I don't even know what I spelled right there. Yep. Um, Give me just a second. Hold on, because I want to make this. I want to. I want to make this clear. So, Heimdall in the comics is a white character, right? Basically, he's exactly the same as he is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but because Idris Elba was playing him, people forgot he was white in the comics. Now, Heimdall is not a big character as far as like in it's I mean, he is and he isn't. You know what I'm saying? D Stizzle, what is going on, my man? Always supporting the channel. Shout out to you, man. Always supporting the channel. And sure, also always supporting the channel. But Idris Elba played Heimdall, right? No, people really forgot. Honestly, people technically forgot that he was Heimdall or he was a white character. I'm gonna give you another one. Valkyrie in the comics is a white woman, blonde hair, right? And this is the flip side of the conversation of race bent characters because we've already had race bent characters in the MCU. We just totally kind of ignored it after a while. I really kind of forgot. So Valkyrie in the comics is a white woman, blonde hair, blue eyed, Broomhilda. But because Tessa Thompson played Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok, totally forgot about that. He said, I didn't forget. Diesel said, I didn't forget. But was we tripping? Was we sitting here kind of like how we are now? And I think because of the fact, I think a lot of it stems from Chadwick Boseman's death. And that put an emphasis on black characters. Putting emphasis because they killed one. They killed one off. Because these two characters, were they not in Endgame? Were they not in Endgame? Were they not in Infinity War? Were they in Infinity? Yeah, because Heimdall. Because he died. Oh yeah, that's right. He wasn't in Endgame because he was dead. He was in. Yeah, he was in Infinity War. No, yeah, Infinity War. But what I'm saying is that after a while, no one gave a crap that Idris Elba was playing a Norse god. And when I looked up ancient Norse history, oh, there was a lot of people my color that came from that area. Trust me on that one. It took some digging, but oh boy, when you dig something up, that's all I'm saying. Tilda Swinton was another one. Race and gender swapped. But eventually, even Kevin Feige came out and said, you know what, we should have did that one. And the only reason why he got that backlash is because he knew that that Disney is big in China. And they didn't want to piss off China, knowing that Tibetans and people from China beef. They blood and cripping around there. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think if anyone else was race bent in the MCU besides that. Yeah, MCU is chilling and they have a way to bring them back too. They have a way to bring them back. Moon Knight already proved it. Moon Knight proved it. Let me see. Let me see if this will come up. Because I'm trying to think if anybody else was race banned in the MCU or you totally forgot. I mean, I would say Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, but that's the ultimate version of Samuel L. Jackson. I got issues on how those Asgardians were treated overall. They got ransacked. They got ransacked. One of the record crew was blackwashed. Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. Now, let me see if I can be able to share this to my MacBook. And I'm going to pull this, but then I'm going to go back to the story. I'm trying to see if this would airdrop. This story will, but so I need a new MacBook. Okay, here we go. We good? So I'm just waiting for this to airdrop. But yeah, one of the record crew was done. Let me see. Hold up. You know what? Zoe, okay, so listen to this. I'm just going to read this before I get back, and let me get this off the screen too, just for a second. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. But it went on the wrong. Where'd it go? Oh, never mind. Check this out. So let's just go to this real quick. Let me see. Maybe Idris Elba will come back as a white Heimdall this time, based on his recent controversy. But it's Idris Elba. Right? He still could, unless he pulled R. Kelly, he still can't do no wrong. Not blackwash, whitewash. Yeah, and again, now that record crew sucked. That record crew sucked. But this is, hold up. I don't really care about this. Get off my screen. What is this crap? Don't care. Why aren't you getting off my screen? Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Analyze race bending in comic book media. Let me just read this because this is going to make sense for the other article. In the last few years, there have been many controversial opinions surrounding the casting of POC, usually black women to play white characters, from Zoe Saldana as Gamora and the MCU to Candice Patton as Iris West Allen in The Flash. I forgot about that. To the recent Anna Diop as the Corindian. I can't pronounce that. I'm not going to. In the Titan series, the backlash of these women being cast as racially ambiguous white characters have been ruthless. Patton frequently talks about dealing with racist trolls. Duop recently deactivated her social media because of the trolling she endured. So the conversation about race bending is not a new one, but the conversation has been skewered and manipulated to the point where it seems that no one knows what race bending truly is. Race bending, in essence, is the process of a perceived cultural ambiguous character being changed into a person of color. The term is not necessarily synonymous with whitewashing. This term was birthed from the protest over whitewashing that the 2010 film The Last Airbender director M. Night Shyamalan chose all white cast for the lead characters, who were all distinguished Asians and Inuit character in the series. What is race bending? The term race bending is a play on the series bending, which refers to the manipulation of the elements air, water, earth, and fire. The term was explicitly coined by the website racebending.com, created in 2009 after the cast of the movie was released. Now, the website aims to draw awareness to areas of cultural appropriation and help content producers create cultural accurate content. So this is showing The Last Airbender, which if you ever watch that, it is terrible. Let me see. She-Hulk's black friend was race swapped. Goat was race swapped and gender swapped. You're exactly correct. Um, Tony Masters, Taskmaster was gender swapped and race swapped. Well, I don't know if she was race. I don't know what. I think she was race swapped. He was race swapped. Gamora is a human though, like Nebula. Starfire can be cast as anyone. If I understood that right. Yeah, I want to read. So when I get to the Steven Yeun portion, we can have a general understanding of, because again, nobody cared about Gamora or any of this. Okay, so since the birth of the term in 2009, the word has gone through a metamorphosis. In 2010, 4 weeks before the premiere of The Last Airbender, a Dreamwidth blog named Dark Agenda published a challenge for its readers titled "The Racebender Revenge Fickathon." Fickathon, I guess. The contest challenges readers to rewrite one or more white characters in the fandom of your choice into a chromatic non-white person of color in a story of at least 500 words. With some acknowledge how the racial differences will make a difference to the story being told. Although the term was originally synonymous with whitewashing, it is now evolved into a more positive definition. In the Pacific context of comic books and comic book movies, race bending and whitewashing has always been a controversial topic. From accusations of gatekeeping to race baiting, there have always been conflicting opinions about whether race bending is helping or hindering minority representation. And this is what we've been talking about. Does Sentry, being played by an Asian man now, a man of Korean descent, is this helping or hindering minority representation, and really only minority in America? Where the controversy comes in. Let's go. This is exactly what I was talking about. One of the first notable comic book examples of race bending is when Marvel Studios cast Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury in the MCU. This does not go over well with all fans. Many comic fans argue that Disney was trying too hard to be diverse and that Nick Fury is supposed to be white. Then in 2011, Marvel Studios cast Idris Elba as Heimdall, and for some reason, this was the last straw. The Missouri-based Council of Conservative Citizens, a white supremacist group, called for a boycott of the movie on the website boycottthor.com that is no longer active. The boycott stated that in case Idris as Heimdall, in the casting of Idris as Heimdall, Marvel has now inserted social engineering into European mythology. There is nothing new under the sun, is what I'm telling y'all. This has been going on. Now is black people saying the same thing that whites were saying 13, 14 years ago. They hope fans wouldn't notice the Avatar whitewashing. I don't know what M. Night Shyamalan was doing. Ned Leeds was race swapped, even though he's Genki, and he's technically Genki, but you know what I mean? They just really created a character for that version of Spider-Man too. So, Aunt May was a hot Aunt May, and nobody had a problem with Melissa Torme playing hot Aunt May and not the old lady from the original Spider-Man movies. I'm just saying. So, take this interesting given the fact that the Thor comics are loosely based on Norse mythology. Many aspects of the Thor comics directly disregard Norse mythology exclusively. Now, we are talking about the comic book and the source material that they got it from. What did they say? Loosely based. Loosely based. The MCU, loosely based. A lot of your cartoon adaptations, a lot of it is loosely based. MJ was race swapped and name swapped. Yes. And eventually people came to love it. They because they love the fact that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man saved, not Tobey Maguire, but what's his name's love interest and redeemed itself. We were all clapping at Spider-Man No Way Home when he did that. Nobody had a problem with that, MJ. We actually was rooting for them to still be together. Yeah. Yeah, MCU Ned was definitely Genki Lee, aka Miles Morales' best friend. Yes. And they technically can still do Miles Morales in the MCU, but I doubt Sony would let them have that one. But you never know. You never know. And they brought him into the MCU because of which it is a rumor that Miles Morales is supposed to show up, even though he was name dropped in Spider-Man Homecoming, that he's supposed to make an appearance in Secret Wars like he did in the comics, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath on that. But again, this shows the argument against race bending are often based less on historical or comic accuracy, but on the race of those involved. I never liked Zendaya's version. I found her boring and unfunny. I love Zendaya. And I kind of knew someone that was like Zendaya, so I never had a problem with that. You know what I mean? The dry humor. You know what I mean? So never had a problem with that myself. But hey, you know what I'm saying? To each his own. Let me see. In the specific context of comics, the arguments surrounding race bending are often muddled by gatekeeping tactics that already limit diversity in comics. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. In the specific context of comics, the arguments surrounding race bending are often muddled by the gatekeeping tactics that already limit diversity in comics. Many comic fans seem to think that if a comic character who has an ambiguous cultural or racial identity is race bended, this changes the essence of the character. This is not necessarily true. For some, race is not a huge aspect of the character, thus race bending them can only enhance these characters. If anything, it is more critical now for a character to hold some form of identity, especially racial identity. So we have seen this not only being talked about with comic book characters, this is also a conversation that a lot of people are having in the LGBT community. Is that I am this, let me be this. If I identify as a man, you have to treat me as such, even though to you don't see me as a man. This is something that's already a political hot point in our culture right now that the LGBT community is fighting. I'm not Asian, so I can't speak on that from a personal perspective, just from a comic book fan's perspective. Now, would I like to see a blonde hair, blue eyed Sentry? Yeah, I would. Am I a casting director? Am I that actor? Man, I'll put on a blonde wig if they told me that I could be Sentry in the MCU, and I'm not joking. I'm not joking at all. I am dead serious. When a loud minority of fans were demanding an Asian Iron Fist, no one asked them for Shang-Chi. And man, Danny Rand sucked. And I was like, can we at least get the dude from Mortal Kombat could have been an awesome Danny Rand. Come from an Asian American background. You know, he was also in Deadpool. God, Lee, he's my boy. He played my boy too from X-Force and the New Mutants. I can't think of it. I can see him now, but I can't think of his name. But yeah, no fans were asking for a badass Armadeus show from the comics. We got a comedic one in the MCU. who's playing Amadeus Cho? Like what are you what I'm trying to figure out when did Amadeus Cho because his mom was literally in Age of Ultron. So when did Amadeus Cho come in the MCU? Because he would have been a kid. He's part of the Young Avengers, so okay. There is a level of selective bias that drenches this argument into racist territory. For example, Wanda Maximoff has been whitewashed in the MCU and stripped of her Romanian and Jewish identity. That again. Oh, Jimmy Woo. But Jimmy Woo is my guy and he's awesome. Don't do Jimmy Woo. And again, nobody really was like, man, look what they did to Jimmy Woo. Jimmy Woo was awesome. You know what I mean? Jimmy Woo was awesome, especially in WandaVision. You know what I mean? The Ant-Man movie. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I do not want them to change him. I love him as a character. Love that character. But again, listen to this and listen to it good because again, I understand one portion of it. I understand that there is cultural biases when it comes to characters. I completely understand that. And this is a prime example of nobody giving a good damn about anybody's history or anything. Listen to this. This is a level of selective biases that drenches the argument into racist territory. For example, Wanda Maximoff has been whitewashed in the MCU and stripped of her Romanian and Jewish identity. This has drawn little noise from the anti-race bending crowd. The rebuttal to the issue is often other characters have been race bent. So why does it matter when a non-white character is changed into a white character? In the history of cinema, characters of color have been routinely stripped of their cultural identity and replaced by white counterparts. The complaints of race bending and lack of complaints of whitewashing illustrates how the issue boils down to bias and selectivity. I'm just saying. Jimmy Woo for the Agents of Atlas. And again, I get it, but this character was introduced in a certain type of way, in a comedic way, and I don't have no problem with that. Maybe they do something different, but I can't have everything, dog. Deadpool is my favorite comic book character of all times. You know why? Because he likes to joke from time to time. He has fun. I like to have fun. Sorry. I like a little comedy in my stuff. He was in Ant-Man and WandaVision, comedic relief instead of a badass agent. I mean, but he was still badass. He still got off them handcuffs. You know what I'm saying? But he's awesome. He's an awesome character, man. I have no problem with. But then again, what I was saying earlier in my stream, D Sizzle, is that sometimes what I do is I said Deadpool, and look what they did to Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine. How pissed off I was. You know what I didn't? What I did? I didn't buy the movie. You said you skipped my comment. Maybe I missed it. What was your comment? Which comment was yours? The Zendaya comment, because I spoke on the Zendaya comment, but like I said, what they did with Deadpool in Wolverine X-Men Origins were on the side of horrific. Horrific. You know what I did? I didn't buy that movie. X-Men Origins, I bought the video game, though. That was awesome. You know what I'm saying? It was way better than the movie. You know what I mean? Then I got to kill that dude all for good. You know what I mean? But I just didn't buy. I didn't invest my money. But you know what I kept investing in? Deadpool comics. And I got a whole big old box of Deadpool comics because that is my guy. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this so I could get to back to the original article about China and Steven. I didn't see that comment. I didn't see that that comment from you. Let me see. Nah, I didn't. Just put put your thoughts in there. My point is that the proper Asian hero representation, like Shang-Chi, Armor, Sunfire, Armadeus Show, and etc. Armadeus Show, will come in. Will come, with the Young Avengers, hopefully. Sunfire, Armor. There's a lot of other Asian characters. I mean, look at the Asian representation that was done in Shang-Chi, and it was done extremely well. You know what I mean? We have to be able to give them time to introduce these characters. All the characters can't be badass. It's just super, just everybody take it seriously. This is not, that this is not DC. DC has a tone to their stuff when everybody is kind of serious, except for the Flash or in Constantine, but he's drunk. You know what I mean? So kind of you kind of got to give it its own thing. And again, if you don't like the MCU adaptation, continue to buy comics from your local comic shop. That keeps the local comic shops in business. It keeps giving us print comics, and it keeps you as a reader engaged in the stuff that you like. And in them immortal weapons. So that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? And let them get there. They just introduced Shang-Chi a couple years ago. So let them get there. Okay. So let's get to this. Let's finish this up. And I'm going to go to the actual article. Back to the article. This is not to say there is no issue with race bending in mainstream media. At first glance, a rumor that Marvel Studios will consider casting a person of color as Magneto and Professor X in a new X-Men movie seems bold and inclusive. But upon further observation, there is a looming issue that is not being acknowledged, which Magneto's cultural background, which is very true. In the beginning of the X-Men comics, there was a little mention of Magneto's background. It was not until Chris Claremont's run, and I keep telling people, Chris Claremont is the one who brought the actual X-Men comics to be about race and exclusion. It was a very much a commentary about racial discrimination, sexual discrimination, all of that. You know what I mean? So that is always been a talking point in comics. But again, in the beginning of the X-Men comics, there were little mention of Magneto's background. And it was not until Chris Claremont's Uncanny X-Men run that we are introduced to Magneto's origins. Claremont introduced the backstory of Magneto being a Holocaust survivor, though his Jewish background was seldom shown in later comics. This was just simply because Marvel Studios was hesitant about the perception of anti-Semitism and making an X-Men villain Jewish. Nonetheless, his Jewish background has become a defining characteristic of his character. Magneto's outlook and many of his decisions is made throughout the course of his history, having been shaped by experiences surviving Nazi Germany, Auschwitz, and Venetia. The erasure of this part of Magneto's character erases what makes him Magneto. This is not to say that this character cannot be a person of color. There were many North Africans and Middle Eastern Jews who entered the Holocaust. Professor Xavier, on the other hand, has a few background characteristics that require him being white. Therefore, little comparable harm in race bending him. Where do we go from here? There is no way in indication of what Marvel Studios should do or should not do. However, it is crucial to understand which choices are complexly problematic and which ones are ambiguous problematic. The debate around race bending also begs the question, why race bend characters when you have an arsenal of diverse characters already? This is something that Planet Fanatics has talked about. This is something that Chillmonger has talked about. This is something I also talked about also. And this is something that Marcus from Back of the Bus talked about. This has been a conversation. So let's get into why. You know what I mean? Which begs an excellent point. In the Pacific context of X-Men comics, there have been many diverse iterations of X-Men characters and leaders, from Storm to Karma to Psylocke. There have been many mutants who have taken the lead and created exciting storylines. This is an ongoing debate touted by many comic book fans of color. Why don't studios use their already established diverse characters instead of race bending? And literally, this is exactly the question that we've been talking about. This leads many fans of color to say that the studios are taking the easy way out when it comes to promoting diversity. Whichever opinion you hold, one thing is evident. Comic book fans are eager for diverse and accurate representation. The only problem is how the studio decides to work towards that goal. And that is the end of that article. Now, what are you guys taking from that article? Let me get to some of the comments, but put it in the comment section what you guys are taking from that article. So I wonder if they were reciprocal of a druggy Asian. And being honest with you, Ashura, is that I've watched many Asian films where opioids was a big thing in parts of China. Now, I've watched this is gonna sound funny. I actually watched Korean soap operas before, and I'm not gonna lie, Korean soap operas to get you hooked. They're good. I'm even gonna hold you on that one. But that is a serious issue in some parts of Asia. So to see that and represent as a representation, I don't perceive that as a problem to me, because it is something that's a problem. There's no difference in the kid from Umbrella Academy. You know what I'm saying? Being a drug addict, and then again, why is that always a bad thing? We can't be so sensitive in this world that we can't talk about the real issues that people go through. I worked as a correctional officer for almost 4 years. You would be surprised who comes through there that are drug addicts. This is just no color on being a drug addict. Trust me. Try waking somebody up off meth. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to chow, and they look like one of those clickers off the last of them. Trust me. X-Men are the most racial diverse team in the comics. Absolutely. If the studios race swap several mutants, it'll be because they don't want to use those characters that fit those backgrounds. But again, I always say, oh, hold on, wait a minute. I wonder if the author thinks a black Simon Williams instead of a new T'Challa is a great idea. You know what I mean? This was written in 2019, so again, from the last time I heard, I went to the comic store. I didn't see a lot of people clamoring for Wonder Man comics. Just being real with you. You know what I mean? You can always check comic statistics and what's the hottest sales right now and what's not. Wonder Man wasn't up there. Hold up. We need to get. You should read the comment above what you read. Did I get to that one? Let me know if I got to that one. Okay. So let's get out of this one and let's go back to the main one. Where did it go? Oh, not that. I don't know what happened to. Okay, maybe I lost a tab or something with it. I don't want this. Did I lose my tab? Maybe I did. Okay, let me get out of this full screen real quick. As far as black race swap goes, I could think roughly 20 black mutants. I bet you China would not like it and the movie will flop. But China has nothing to do. He's Korean. He's not Chinese. So I'll put my comment above the China about China. You still which it's only the ones that's on screen. You're talking about the ones it's about China and Steven Yeun. I mean Yeun about China and Steve, but he's not Chinese though. He's Korean. Actually, he's Korean and black. I mean Korean and black. He's Korean. He's Korean and American. Or Korean American. All I'm saying is all jacked up. That's because I'm trying to find my place in this life. I don't know what the heck just happened to my. Let me just log back in so I can get to that. Let me get back to this, and I'm trying to still keep up with all y'all comments. Let me see. Let me get back to that article from Illuminerd. Yeah, let me get back to this because I don't know what happened to the story. Doesn't matter if he's not Chinese, he's Asian. That's my point. But okay, because I watch a lot of Chinese cinema. They're really big on their character. If they're Chinese, are really big on how their people are represented. They literally got pissed because uh I can't think how this Simu, the guy who plays Shang-Chi, even though he's Chinese, he was born in Canada. And it was like, oh, so you couldn't, literally Chinese people was pissed off in the media. They couldn't get a natural born Chinese man to play the lead. And the guy who played um Shang-Chi's father in there, they were mad because in the West, in Chinese cinema, he's a hero. They were mad he was playing a villain. So I'm just saying, Korean. That's why fans are saying he could be Amadeus, even though he's 20 years. He's 20 years too old. He's way too old to play Amadeus show. But then again, we need to stop limiting actors based on kind of what we want, because there's plenty of Korean actors, plenty of Chinese actors. There's plenty of actors out there that can take on these roles. We don't, just because we like one guy, we don't need to just define him to just that role, because there's other actors. This is why I talk about black people with T'Challa. It's just not one guy that's out there. There's so many talented actors. The kid from Snowfall will be a perfect young T'Challa. Be a perfect, and I'm talking about recast, perfect. You know what I mean? I seen him on, what was that, BET Awards, whatever, NAACP Awards, and I was like, him next to Method Man, I was like, you know what? You know who it reminds me of? T'Challa. But if we limit them to just what we think that they should be in, they never expand. That's what I'm saying. There's so many talented actors out there that we could be able to put these characters anywhere. You know what I mean? Let me get to your comment, D Sizzle. Yeah, the Asian hemisphere is very particular in that regard. Yeah, extremely when it comes to Asia representation, they are literally divided between Korea, Japan, China. Like how Japanese people are depicted in some Chinese media, especially because they were under Japanese rule during World War II. Oh, they are always going to be the hero in that story. There will always be the hero of that story, and Japan will always be the villain in that story. Every single time. They're not going to hold anything back. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be, I'm trying to tell you, you got to be real careful when we just don't label this, like just labeling Africa like there's not, 52 or 53 countries in Africa. You know what I mean? That's why I hate when people say Africa. There's countries in Africa. Hell, I got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different countries as part of my ancestry in Africa. Maghreb in Egypt, Nigeria, Gambia, what's the Not I can't think of. God dang it. Um, Erythrian. Just like I got a lot. This is all I'm saying. Is I got a lot. It's a lot. Okay. Desmond Idris would be great in my opinion. Absolutely. Because I looked at that kid, look at the way he was, he's sitting next to Method Man. Method Man, I remember old Method Man. Method Man big as hell now. You know what I'm saying? Big, you know what I'm saying? Nice looking dude. And I'm looking at him like, man, when they just put this all on, oh man, it's just Chadwick and nobody can ever, take Chadwick. I looked at that kid, I was like, that's bullcrap, man. Look at this kid. This kid could be a star. And he's stuck on a show that just shows African American downfall in Snowfall. I don't watch the show because dude, I lived through those times. Man, I had so many family members that was affected by drugs in my community. I don't care to watch that. You know what I mean? But do I see this kid as a star? You damn right I do. And he would be a perfect T'Challa. Similar to Africa, most cultures around the world, yes. You cannot mix a lot of these countries and think they're the same. They're not. Culturally, they're not. Okay, let's get back to this and go to the last subject once I. Okay, let's get back to this here. All right, so he's going to play the Sentry. I wonder, are they going to change his hair or anything? Are they just going to keep him the same? Is he going to have long hair? I'm not even going to hold you. And like I said before, would I like for them to do a white guy playing a Sentry? Yes. But I'm not going to lie. He is so awesome in Invincible. I kind of want to see an Asian Superman. I wouldn't mind seeing a kind of an Asian Superman. Maybe it's just the curiosity in me because for one, I already know people gonna lose their mind. That's why I say he's playing a Sentry that's going to be a fail. If you think it's going to be a fail, it's going to be a fail. But the dude is an amazing actor. He is an amazing actor, and I don't know until I see it. By saying no one can replace that actor, you're locally applying to every professional actor around the globe is trash, basically. Exactly. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie. Have we? I get it because we have seen nothing but white man play the Superman type of character. We literally see it in Eternals. We see it with the boys. Homelander. We see it with the Superman character, all the iteration of Superman. You know what I mean? We've seen it before. Is it time for us to see something different? That's why I want to challenge your minds to. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of would be up for Asian Superman though. What are you talking about? I don't think I'm just going off of what's in my timeline, bro. So I'm not trying to skip you on purpose or whatever, but I'm literally going off of what's on here. So if you put it in the chat and I skipped you, I'm sorry, but literally it's just I'm just going off of what's on here. And details of what I'm talking about, Asian Superman, and there's a black Superman. But what I'm talking about is in movie publication. That's what I'm talking about. In movie publication. So again, this is what the Sentry looks like. But then again, isn't that a trope within itself? Just thinking a white man can only be the strongest man in the universe? Bro, the chat is on all comments. So you know what I mean? I don't know what I don't know what to tell you. I'm just going out for what comes on the screen, bro. If I don't see it on the screen, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. You got to just put it right back in the chat because I can't see it. So, or unless you said something in the chat that you know what I'm saying that could be harmful, and YouTube won't let you post it in the chat. So again, I beg the question. This is another good question. You know what I'm saying? Is it a trope to see a blind, you know what I'm saying, a blonde hair, blue eyed dude be the savior of the universe, or a white man being the savior of the universe? Think about it. Just kind of think about it for a second. You know, like I said, would I like to? Yeah, because I would like to see that adaptation. But if they do something different, nothing I can do about it. It's to think it's going to fail and to think that this is going to be trash and all of that. I mean, to each his own. Only thing I can do is watch it. But if I come again, your mind is powerful. What you thinketh, it will become. So if you think it's going to be trash, you have that already planted in the seed. You're not going to like it anyway. It's going to take a hella convincing for you to get out that mindset once it's set in your mind. So hopefully he can convince it. That's what I'm saying. Bring Kenji Kong to the big screen, but on the flip side, they have a hard time just keeping white Superman on the big screen. Yeah, but this is not DC. This is a Marvel character. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you got Hyperion. You know what I'm saying? In Marvel Comics, you're Superman, Sentry, Hyperion, Gladiator. You know what I mean? So any one of those guys could be, you know what I mean, in the MCU. But then you literally could have 3 white dudes and a purple guy. Well, 2 white dudes and a purple guy. So, and again, we just seen a white dude playing a Superman type with Icarus in Eternals. So let's get to this, and then I'm gonna finish it up with the Fresh Prince recap. And this is, hold on, about the art. Arthur, Asian dude, Kevin Phoenix. Where's the article though? Why am I feel like I'm missing the article? Or it just keeps sliding past me. Okay, so Marvel's the Sentry, one of the most powerful heroes in the world. In the comic books, he is empowered by the enigmatic Professor Secret Formula that came about trying to replicate USA Super Soldier Serum, which is something that we already seen in Captain America. In Incredible Hulk. We've seen this in Captain America. We've seen this in Captain America in the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Captain America the Winter Soldier. So we've already seen that. So they're going to bring that adaptation here, and the influence for Canadia's Weapon X program, which is going to come. Robert Reynolds, a high school freshman suffering from schizophrenia and anxiety, unknowingly steals a serum, hoping it will lead to an intense high. After ingesting it, he gains the powers of 1,000,000 exploding suns and begins life as a superhero in his lifelong battle with his arch enemy, the Void, which is himself. And I think that, hold on. Okay, this seems to be absolutely certain. Thunderbolts was come out. I think this is just moving a little too fast. What do you think about Steven Yeun becoming the golden boy of Marvel in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie? Do you think he'll play the Sentry and the Void? Will he be a good guy or a bad guy? Let us know in the comments, in theories, on social media. So, man, Gladiator on the biscuit will be fire. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if you remember D Sizzle, if you remember I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Remember they did Gladiator as My Way Entertainment. And they did Gladiator and Gladiator talks Juggernaut. Man. I sent you the comment through your Twitter DMs. Okay. You wrote I wrote that initially they were going to make the Sentry black, which I did a video on that, but he's a drug addict, so they Gotta protect black people's feelings and not stereotype them, so they made him Asian. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that was the case, but there was a rumor they were casting. And that was a rumor that the cast it was for the Century, and then it quickly went to this guy. Um, I mean, we already see it in Snowfall anyway, so what's the difference? People ain't up in arms when they see black people on drugs on Snowfall or any of these other BMF. Is always selective. To me, it's always selective outrage, because if you get mad at one and not pick on the other one, then what are you really outraging about? And that's real talk. So I'm just saying. So let me get off of that. So what do y'all think? Like, I mean, we literally just seen this with Kane the Conqueror. Jonathan Majors came out, did an excellent job, because technically in the comics, they wrote him. They all. It's like all the heroes or all these fantastic villains and stuff like that always been white. And I did a video months ago about how comic book characters have always been, it was 99.9.5% white, and if it was a person of color, there was always a sidekick or always a stereotype. So this is not nothing new, and this is kind of how I feel, is that I for some reason I feel the studio is doing a diverse thing, because even in the comics, like, damn, and you know, kind of like how Jack Kirby was like, I got all these black readers with no character for me. But Jack did the smart thing by creating a comic book character. You know what I'm saying? And they're just like, man, skip that character. He ain't all that anyway. Well, I'll swap him right now. You know what I'm saying? But again, it depends on who they swap. It's if his ethnicity is not so big that it misconstrues the character, then I get it. Magneto is a perfect example because his character is tied into the Holocaust, so I get that. You know what I mean? And there are there were black and brown people in the Holocaust too. You know what I mean? So you can always tie it in if you do a person of color, because it's the truth. It is nothing that is, you know, this a lie, but he's been white so long, you know what I mean, that you're gonna have plenty of people that's gonna be pissed off about it. So it really depends on how you're, you know, what you want to be up in arms about. Olga Kurylenko as fake Taskmaster again. Talk about a miscast. I talked about that earlier. You know what I mean? So the moment she wasn't talking, you knew she was gender swap. It was just under the mask. You know what I mean? And again, they have they got some time to retcon that character too. They have some time, but they're probably not, and I don't know why. I don't know if they're waiting, because really, man, Taskmaster is so really big towards everybody, because he's in a lot of my Deadpool comics too. So go figure. But what do you guys think about this? Make sure you put it in the comment section. And the last thing I'm gonna talk about is Fresh Prince episode 2. So I'm gonna stop the screen, stop the cap, because my screen was like getting all jiggy and all of that, all jittery and stuff like that. So let me eliminate this here, get this out the way. All right, so let's talk about hold on. From what I could tell, Tony Masters is black in the Ultimate Universe. It would have been cool with that, or the 616 version. It's funny, I thought the black dude who was helping Black Widow, I thought he was Tony Masters that whole entire time. I am not joking. Feige is staying till 2035, 10 years. Then Victoria Alonso will come in. You know, if you're a time traveler, just let me know. With Nate Moore at the helms. I don't know. But I don't think we need to be so hypercritical, because none of this stuff is really stayed true to the comics. I'm gonna just be honest. None of it is stayed true to the comics. All right. Last thing I want to do is go with Bel-Air episode 2. So I don't know if you guys are watching Bel-Air, you know what I'm saying, or anything, but Bel-Air episode 2 kicked off with Will. It's basically, this was the episode that kind of slowed down and showed you Will in school, and they were trying to pick up a lot of what was going on with the Black Student Union. The original Ashley Banks character, I think she was plays Miss Hughes. She was fired in the show. So Ashley, the new Ashley, talks to the old Ashley, but they're trying to find ways to bring her back. There was some reconciliation from G and Uncle Phil, which was needed. I'm glad they kind of call. I'm glad to start calling them G, because that was just a staple of the Freshman show. Calling Jeffrey G. The dynamic of the guy, kid, not Mr. Cross. Good Lord, I'm mixing up my Kevin, my Country Wayne skits. With this, the recruiter got telling him to play for AAU, and which is funny because if Will was so dope in West Philly, why didn't he play AAU ball? Which is crazy to me anyway. And of course, they had to do the cutaways because homeboy can't dunk. You know what I'm saying? And his jump shot is ugly. I'm not lying. Now, Will could ball. Like, Will Smith actually could ball. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I like Jabari Banks, but, man, his jump shot is fried. Man, mine might not look that good either on camera. You know what I mean? But his jump shot is fried. But just my overall thoughts on this episode. It was more of a slower episode. It was more of a build-up. You know, you had to bring back Jeffrey into the fold. They got a lot of stuff out. And this is what I like about the show, is that you had an opportunity to see two black men, one knowing he was wrong, tell this brother that, man, it's more than just us. I can beef with you, but I can also be wrong. I can say things that I didn't really mean or be caught up in a moment, and I can be totally right within my feelings, but I still love you, and I still can admit that I'm wrong, still admit that I need you. You know what I'm saying? Because you are part of my family. And sometimes we throw a lot of people away because they never admit, they can admit that they're wrong, but we're so caught up in our feelings that we don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? And I love that dynamic. We seen this with Will and Uncle Phil. Now we're seeing it with Jeffrey and Uncle Phil. Haven't watched this show, but everybody seems to dig it. I watched season 1. I was doing the Dre Mac podcast, the Dre Mac show last year. It had nothing to do with none of this. Trust me. This was some other stuff going on, what I was talking about. But so there's, for you, D Sills, that haven't watched it, it's a lot of elements. It's more of a grounded, realistic type of show. There's some elements of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. There's also certain elements of what they're trying to do with that. And the creator of the show is a guy from Kansas City, so shout outs to him. I didn't really care for the AAU storyline. And with the AAU storyline, which is crazy because, and Mika, you will probably know this. When you're a real big time hooper, like I went to school with, and I don't know if you guys ever heard of this NBA basketball star, and he was a former coach of the Phoenix Suns, is Earl Watson. And I went to school with Earl Watson. And a lot of them dudes knew each other. Like, people think of ball. They play AAU and for their school. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I know the premise behind it was originally a fan project, and it was a dope fan project too. You know what I mean? He should shot a lot of that in Kansas City, though. Shout out to him. You know, shout out to just KC, period, because, you know, champs. But anyway, yeah, I went to school with Earl Watson. Earl graduated in 97. I graduated in 99. I remember my highlight of my life when I was in the 10th grade. He was a senior. We played some pickup ball, and he came in and played with me. I'm not really a hooper like that. I grew up playing basketball, but I was more of a football player. You know what I'm saying? I remember throwing the oop to Earl, and I couldn't believe the 6'2" dude could jump like that. So, yeah, you know what I mean? So that's my person that I played ball with. You know what I'm saying? Or my story, 6'1", he's 6'1", 6'2". You know what I'm saying? Still does a lot of things in the community too over in KCK. But, you know, the AAU thing, because it transferred over from episode 1 to episode 2. You know what I'm saying? Show them they evolve. And this is something that was on the show too. Will, when he first got here, a lot of his teammates didn't like him because he was, like, called him a ball hog or whatever. Everybody remembers that episode of Fresh Prince because Carlton played on the basketball team, and Carlton wanted to beat him so bad that he took the ball and threw up that shot, and it went airball. Yeah. See, yes, I played basketball in high school. Oh, that's dope. And for the Army, that is dope. My sister played AAU ball and played for our high school. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, why hasn't he been playing AAU ball? You know what I'm saying? Why he didn't play AAU ball when he was in Philly? So that was kind of interesting if he was that good. You know what I'm saying? I came up playing b-ball, football, and a little bit of baseball. My first love was basketball, and then sixth grade changed my life, and I became a football fanatic after that. Played for my high school. I mean, had a scholarship offer to K-State for football and theater. You know what I mean? Football was my life. Play quarterback, special teams captain. You know what I mean? Played wide receiver at my height at 5'9", because another dude who was coming out at the same time I was coming out. That I heard of, a little guy that y'all probably heard of named Steve Smith. Big fan of his, all for a long time. You know what I mean? So, but then back in the 90s, man, you could be a 5'9" wide receiver or a 5'9" cornerback and nobody looked at you crazy. You know what I mean? Now you want you tall and lanky. Hitman 3 just thrown by Cocaine Bear. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But like I said, a lot of people were just pounding on it so bad it's gonna get bad publicity. But I hope in the future people go back and look at this like, man, that defined everything. Just like how they did with Ant-Man 2, the end of Ant-Man 2. So, all right, the AU storyline is changing how I feel about Will. I can't lie, I was a little irritated by this episode. With this one, okay, so Mika, with this episode, and like I said, I remember the episode of Fresh Prince when he first got there, and that was a Give It to Will episode. You know what I mean? Now, in that episode, because Will was the only one that could ball, it was like, but it was more comedic. In this one, the other teammates was pissing me off because he's clearly your best player. He's clearly the best player of your team. So, of course, you got to feed the offense through him. Like what you would do on any basketball team. If this dude I know that could hoop, let me feed the rock through him first. You know what I'm saying? Because hell, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to get a dub. I don't care if I get 2 points, if I got 30 assists because this dude is throwing up every shot that I give him. Who cares? Who cares? That's just me though. You know what I mean? But that's what was irritating me about them. I was cool with Will, but they was irritating the hell out of me with that. I came up in Illinois, so I was a Cubs, Sox, Bears, fighting the Lion, Bulls all day. Oh yeah, I'm strictly Bulls all day. Strictly Bulls all day. I'm not gonna lie, Bulls fan, Boston Celtics fan. Don't tell me I don't even want to explain how I became a fan of both of those, but think this little commercial called Bulls Jordan versus Bird back in the day for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I became a fan of Larry Bird and Michael Jordan right there. So, but yeah, so what I did when the part that really was kind of irritating is Hillary and Jazz, their dynamic. That was kind of, but he mainly did it to impress Doc after a loss. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that was my game. Yeah, that game sucks. Trust me, I replayed it because I got it on I got the emulator. Oh my god. Oh my god. But I know he was trying to impress Doc, and I like the aggressiveness that he took because for real basketball players, they would have did the real hoopers are trying to win would have did the same thing. And you're trying to get a D1 scholarship. You're trying to get out of whatever situation that you're in, or you're trying to elevate your game. You're trying to get into the league. When I played football, I literally, man, I played with ruthless aggression. So I had no problem. I had no problem being kind of that guy. I was the energy guy. I was all of that. That's one reason why a lot of people like me on the football team. I was the energy guy. So, we got hype before football. I'm trying to hit everybody in sight. Yeah. NBA jams, double dribble all day. Now, double dribble was my game too, even though every person on the game was white. That's why I kind of honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm kind of glad. A little piece of me kind of like what Marvel's doing with just diversity or whatever they call it woke, because all it is pissing off racists. And I love to see this when this happens because it just shows people who they are. I'm sorry. Oh, facts. Okay. The Hillary and Jazz relationship seems forced. They teased it in season one. What pissed me off was like the first episode. It was like, oh, well, he's my boyfriend for real. I'm like, you could have been said that. And I do understand when she's trying to build a brand and she doesn't want to intermingle her relationship with her brand. I get that. You know what I'm saying? I do get that. But in the context of the story, I think he was tripping a little too much about his car too. I think he was a little too sensitive about his car. You know what I'm saying? Because if you trust her, just let her drive the car. You know her people is rich, so if she wreck it, she could rebuild it, which I get. But you know what I mean. But the parts that I liked was the jazz. I mean, not the jazz. The G coming back, Jeffrey coming back. That's dope. This situation between Aunt Viv and old boy who's a villain in every just because he got pretty eyes, Michael Ealy, that's getting on my nerves. It's a classic though. That's getting on my nerves because I want her to separate herself from this dude at all costs because all it does is it makes it's forcing a black woman can't win because a man is holding her back. And it's forcing that issue. An original classic car, nobody would be driving my car. Well, you should, yeah. Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, I thought Hillary and Jazz should have got married in the old show. Remember, he kept getting tossed, so he kept getting tossed out the door. But the funniest thing is when him and old girl got married, they was dancing uh down the thing. That's classic. But I mean, it's my 6'4". You know what I'm saying? I mean, he shouldn't have let her. If you feel that strongly, don't let her drive it at all. Be like your daddy's rich. Go get her. Why would you do a 6'4" in that shoot anyway? Why wouldn't you go get your car? Because I know you probably got a Porsche or something like that. Because your people balling. Y'all just had a girl's birthday party on a yacht. I can't even get in a canoe. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. So the overall episode was cool. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, Carlton. I know him being off his meds or being on reduced meds that's gonna come back, and it's gonna be sad when it comes back because I'm rooting for Carlton because I know how it feels to have anxiety and man, or he has anxiety and something else. Um, but his reduced meds and how his family kind of made him make the decision on his own. I do like that. Carlton dancing with the two girls reminds me of that episode where Carlton went to the all black when he was trying to be a part of that fraternity in college and he was dancing and everybody was digging him. You know what I mean? That's love Carlton. I love this character of Carlton in the show. And I hope he's able to fight for that teacher and don't let his political affiliation kind of distract him from what he's really trying to do. So, other than that, I mean, it was a cool episode. I won't say it was as solid as the first one, but again, I think this is setting up threads, and this is basically kind of like the filler episode that leaves the webs and weaving and all of that. Carlton at the HBCU, yes. She was gonna marry Trevor. That Budgie Court accent, yeah. Hillary, would you marry me? Just like, I think man. I hate that made that funny because that's not funny. Will you marry me? Splat. Pop. Pop goes a weasel because the weasel go pop. So yeah. So yeah, there, like I said, there's a lot of threads they're gonna do. They to me, I don't know if that girl is really for him. The little young chick that he just met, with the dog and everything, the uncle to Doc. I don't know about that one. Splat. I don't know if I know that old girl is gonna get jealous of her because he told what's her name? He told her he wanted to split, and I just want to have some time to do me, basically. And she felt a certain way. He said he loved her. And basically he's totally ignoring her for real. And he's trying to dig old girl. I don't know if that's gonna work out well. You know what I mean? But yeah. Cool episode. I'm gonna make sure to do the next episode on Friday, hopefully. So yeah, we're gonna go back to Fresh Prince Bel-Air Fridays and talk about it the day, you know what I'm saying, that Friday morning. Lisa, yeah. Lisa, I couldn't think of her name. You know what I'm saying? So I know Lisa was played by Nia Long in the original series, but I didn't think she didn't come until they was in college. So them bringing her now in this version, you know what I mean? Especially, I mean, they did. She got feelings for him. Did she break his for? I think he broke her virginity, if I'm not mistaken. So I think she's really holding on to him. If I'm not mistaken, she did. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think they need to get it together.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
All right, so you know what that comes on. You know it's time to get up out of here. What did you guys think about Bel-Air? What do you think guys think about the episode or whatever? Let me see. I like that Will and Tyra based chemistry on the old show. I did like that. I did like that. Their chemistry was dope. Tyra was always doing this though. Always doing that. I like it though. I like it. It was cool. But what you guys think about everything that I said today? Make sure you put it in the comment section. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Me too. Yes. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my episodes. All right, I'm about to get out of here. Matter of fact, before I get out of here, because I'm just wrap it up. If you guys got any questions for me in the comment section, you know what I'm saying, let's go ahead and get to that. And then after that, I'm out of here. You know what? I just noticed Mortal Kombat wasn't on. Maybe it's all good. It's too late now. But I just noticed that. I normally have it on, but it's not on today. I'm letting y'all get a piece of the forehead. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said me and Carlton, we got a lot going. We got a lot in common. Yeah. Let the forehead, this little light of mine. You see how the light shine on my forehead? I'm gonna let it shine. And start singing like Tina Turner. What's love got to do with it? At the beginning. All right, but shout out to everybody that was in the chat today. We had an excellent conversation and all of that. Let me see. Question: is off, redo, record the live? It's off, redo, record the live. Huh? Hold on, wait a minute, bruh. It's off, redo, record. No, it's not. Oh snap! Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I had to get comfortable with my forehead. And this for years I've been having this. It's not like I got a receding hairline or something like that. I looked at my mama's head with like, I get it from my mama. Where you get that hair from? I get it from my mama. No, I'm just playing. Carl's forehead starts at the back of his thoughts. Okay, I need to put myself in timeout for that. Oh snap. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's off. It's been off. Okay, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, Mortal Kombat's been off. I'm tripping. But nah, Carton stuff is like where my Carton, man, they still talk about Carlton on the show. Look like a PT Cruiser by the face. I was like, y'all are wrong. Y'all wrong. Not headquarters. Godly. You see how my head is headquarters? Golly. The Temple of Doom, Castle Grayskull. Oh man. So this is why I used to crack on people when I was a kid, because I ain't had no good comeback. So I let them get their jokes off and I just steal their jokes for later. But any questions or anything, or I always tell you guys, what I'm saying, if you ever want me to talk about particular things, just hit me up in the inbox on Twitter or IG, or put it in the comment section of the channel. Now I didn't say all that. Head is the long arm of the of the law. You know what I'm saying? You don't have dreams, you have movies. When you salute, you be like, yes, sir. But I ain't too far. I look. That's why I be like vibe hard at the top of my forehead. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, you better be glad I ain't got no grease on my face. Boy, I be sitting around here looking like Thomas Edison's version of the light bulb. You know what I mean? Just half of it here. What's in your thoughts? Boy, think so hard, boy. You can see everything I'm thinking about. It's a shame because my daughter calls me Megamind. Shrek Dre, you're a good sport about that stuff. I don't trip off of my head. Like, I know, being honest with you, I did was self-conscious about it. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know, it's just I was self-conscious about myself and self-conscious about my head. You know what I mean? But it's cool though. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. And you know who made it cool? Carlton. Thank you. Guy who plays Carlton on Fresh Prince. You made me want to put my muffin cap back. Oh god. Oh. Oh my god. I'm corny. I am so corny. All right. Yeah. My little baby were like, hi Megamind, I'm your father. And treat me as such before I Stone Cold Steve going, I'll get you the Stone Cold Stunner. Or give her the Tombstone Power Driver, because my favorite wrestler is the Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? Next to Sting. I almost buy me a wrestling buddy Sting too. Should go back and get it. Nah. Uh Avery Brooks, Luke Cage, rocks the shave head like no other. Hey, look, I ain't ready for the shave head. I still got a little bit, I still got some baby hairs right here. You know what I mean? I didn't put the little twist thing on there. You know what I mean? I ain't ready to be bald yet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ready to be bald because I feel like I got a pill head. So I don't want my head to look like a peeled Russell potato. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to be really cracking on me because the light skin of this part is light and in my head real light. Y'all ain't about to roast me. Y'all ain't about to sit up there and roast me. No. I've refused it. I still got a little hair left. So, and I'm gonna keep hair until I'm 187. And I'm 137 right now. So I got 50 years of this. I got 50 years. You ain't gonna make me bald. All right, I'm gonna need to get out of here. I've been playing around. The 90s Fab Five. My forehead is the Fab Five. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of goodness. This is when I know my forehead big though. I can put all four of my fingers from start to finish. This is when I knew I had a big forehead, but I've always had a big forehead. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. All right. Any other yo, Mika. Oh yeah. So I caught the live of Popcorn and Your Beer yesterday. And on Friday night, I did a impersonation of a certain uh young fella on Popcorn and Your Beard. And I want to apologize to that young fella. His name is Rashad. And I want to apologize, but like, hey, brother, hey, man, brother, what you not gonna do? What we not gonna do? You ain't gonna talk about me on my show, man. You're not. You can do the impersonations all you want, but you ain't gonna do me like that, though, man. I'm Dre. I'm gonna get you a bucket of mutton chops and put it all on the side of your face. And then hold up, wait a minute, Duke, hold up, Mika, hold up, Mika, hold on, Mika. I got this. I got this, brother. You ain't gonna be coming on the show doing this, talking about whitefish, you know, how much you like whitefish and all this. You know, we do dark skinned fish around here, you know, brother. But yeah, man, if you got time, you know what I'm saying, I'll give you my address, you know. Nah, I'm playing. I'ma stop. I'ma stop. Go check out Popcorn Your Beard. You know what I mean? Check out what they doing on there. Rashad, Duke, Kent, Mika G, Mo. You know what I'm saying? Check them out. And they do awesome. But I'm on see what I'm doing is see, I gotta do this. I gotta do this because all he do is hate. And I ain't got no time. I swear to God, I ain't got no time for him to be hating on a lot of my movies. I ain't got no time for that. I refuse. Lord knows I refuse. Oh, I did it. I did it. And you can let them know I did it. You can let them know I did it. Duke next. I'm gonna get Duke next. Brother, you can't be saying, brother, hold up. You can't be telling people. This is with him the other day. You can't be telling people, brother, that people are shaped like the Metro. You can't do it, brother. Nah, I refuse. I refuse for you to do it, brother. You gonna be on the express line. I'm just saying, cuz. I'm just saying, you gonna be on the express line. Hell, do an impression of me one more time. See, this is what happened, Mika. What you need to nah, Mika, hold on. This is what happens when all these light skinned cats be doing these impressions of us. I'm just saying. I'm gonna go see Cocaine Bear. I swear, boy. Woo! I need to go to bed. All right. Oh. my man is Mo though, so I ain't gonna do Mo. Because Mo will sit there and he'll have jokes for me for the remaining portion of any show. I'm never coming back. Uh, I'm never coming back on Popcorn Your Beard. Rashad, he did another impression of you. Hold up, brother. Hold up. Get him back on the show. Because what we not gonna do, brother, Dre. Man, somebody go take, man, we gotta add men. Go and put Dre in the corner. But I ain't gonna sit up there for this foolery, for this haberdashery. I'm not gonna sit up here for it. I'm not. I'm not. Oh, Cocaine Bear put the pause on. Cocaine Bear put the pause on Ant-Man. It is what it is. All right, y'all. Y'all got any more questions or anything for me? I'm hanging with y'all right now, man. Anything y'all any other questions or anything? Oh man, that's funny. That's I need to be in a I need to be in the corner. I need to be in the corner. But I'm waiting any other questions or whatever. What y'all think about like I said, we oh no, y'all got free wing. Ask me whatever y'all want. Ask me whatever y'all want real quick before I get out of here. And I'm giving y'all it's a 9:50 my time for 4 more minutes of questions, and then I'm getting out of here. Boy, Rashad gonna call Merle on me. Merle was on the episode. Merle was on the episode of Cocoon. That's what she was on. So Y'all got any more questions? I'm sorry. Let me look at the camera. Rashad, I apologize. Duke, I apologize. But I seen the stuff that you said about me on your show. So I'm just playing, y'all. I be hyping y'all up. Okay. All right. So where do you see Will AAU storyline going? Is Doc the bad guy? I really don't think he's the bad guy. Um it's always going to be some internal conflict with Uncle Phil and in what he thinks is best for Will, and I think that's going to be the conflict more um than Doc's presence. I think he's going to have certain influences or whatever, but right now, seriously, if Will was supposed to be that dope, he should be on an AAU team. And people know because the age of technology, they be like, "Oh, Will is here from." I would have Doc should have never went through all that trial and all of that to put this kid on there if he was really that dope. So, favorite comic storyline. My favorite comic storyline. My is that Duke? My man Duke. Dre, let me just tell you, Dre, brother, you are going to hell. One-way trip. You said the girl was long and square. You're going to hell on the express trip, cuz. I'm just saying. I'm playing, Duke. I'm playing. I shouted all y'all out. So you I shouted all y'all out. So it's all love. You know, I love hanging with y'all because y'all hilarious to me. But favorite comic book storyline. Oh, jeez. Um, that's kind of hard because I like fast track on on the Greyhound on the midnight train to Georgia. Let me see. I think my favorite comic storyline is shoot, that's hard because Secret Wars 2015 because there's so much of it. Actually, probably Dark Reign because there's so much intricate parts to Dark Reign. Uh, Secret Wars because not only do you have Secret Wars, they had the Deadpool Secret Wars. Man, amazing. I like the Death of Return to Superman. But my favorite, man, that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard for me because there's a few of them. Absolute Carnage was dope too. So Absolute Carnage was dope. Maximum Carnage was even it was oh my god. Um yeah, that's kind of hard for me though, for real. Any other questions? Any other questions? Because I can take questions right now. Like I said, I say I give it 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes so we could just chop it up before I get out of here. Yeah, Master Card has his haters, but I love it. Master Card is awesome. What character you think would be great as a black character? What character you think would be great as a black character? Are we talking about from Marvel or what characters you think would be great as a black character? I mean, besides T'Challa, besides the one guy I think is not great. What's the cat's name? He's a mutant in Wakanda. Can't think of that kid's name. I mean Cloak from Cloak and Dagger. Bishop needs to come back. Because Bishop's a black character. Blade has a daughter now. That's dope. I know we were talking about oh Jesus. There's a couple. It's a couple. Um, let me see. Let me see. Let me go to the stash real quick. If I can. I bet y'all haven't seen. Let me show you this. like a black Wolverine. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just saying. There's character, and this is kind of why I like the X-Men comics because, yo, that character's most definitely black. I know some of y'all ain't gonna like this though. Why you gotta be flying with the white woman? See? So I gotta put these up. I gotta put this in that box that's next to it too. All right. Let me see. Where am I at? I was there during the summer buying all those bi-weekly issues. Yeah. Most definitely, yes. A white character that will be a great black character. A white character would be a great black character right now. Oh, let me see. If it's not a mainstay character, well, because you have Blue Marvel, I would say Hyperion, but you have Blue Marvel, so no. I think Gladiator would be dope if he was played by a black dude, but yeah. But he's kind of a blue skin, purple skin alien. Um, couldn't do. I know a lot of people saying Magneto, but you could do a Magneto that is black that came from the Holocaust from a black point of view of the Holocaust. It would have made it even worse. So, trying to think because a lot of the characters kind of I mean, kind of had a black Batman in DC. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind the Flash being black, but you know, listen, I want to see Bishop with his sister Shard on the big screen done right. Well, there's a lot of things I want, man, brother. Yeah, I ain't getting it. Okay, not big on the ball, Bishop. Give me the class ability, William Shag or the fresh fat. Man, we are not trying to bring that curl, bluish, blackish curl back. That I refuse to do. I knew they just dropped this shoe, and this shoe gonna be like $400. How much for my size? 272? Nope. Not doing it. Anyway, that's a good question though, because I don't really be looking at characters sometimes like that. You know what I mean? As far as like comics, because man, they could change at a drop of a hat. But I am starting to see Marvel create more black characters now, but they're not race swapping them. So, oh, Bishop with the light now, Bishop with the locks too. Yeah, Bishop with the locks. You know what I'm saying? I know that Method Man said that he even cosplayed as Bishop. Said if they ever did X-Men again, he want to put his hat in as Bishop. I think that'd be awesome. I think that would be awesome. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting sleepy. All right. Any other questions for me? Oh, you know when you start getting sleepy, you start kind of like one eye start feeling all cockeyed as you walk around here. They're like, "Hey, man, I think it's time for us to go to sleep." So I think it's time. Meth is huge. Meth is a huge comic head. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. I can't believe I did that with my eyes so sleepy. All right. I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to go and get out of here, man. The sign is simple, B.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
You hear it. Wrap it up. All right. Let me go ahead and get out of here, man. I thank you guys for hanging with me. Thank you guys for taking the time out to, put yourself in questions and stuff like what the heck. Put your comments and stuff like that in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my episodes. And until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Shalom to everyone. Where's my outro? If you came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking around for the entirety of the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you want to get a little more personal with me, hit me up on my Instagram, hit me up on Twitter, or any of the social medias that you see below you. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher.